Welcome guys. Today we are going to see Top 5 New History Games of 2022, Part 2. If you haven't seen my Part 1 video, consider watching that one too, it's great. Now, let's begin with number 5. Men of War 2. Men of War 2 is an RTS, centered around the eastern and western fronts of World War II. The game will have a story campaign to drive people through the war, which you can experience with the Allies and Soviets. Meanwhile, the battle is mainly up to players. They can attempt to go through different ambushes, take cover in the ever-changing terrain, or even go headfirst into the action. The gameplay should feel lively and fresh throughout the campaign, as not only are you given different environments to battle within, but you'll also find 45 battalions and several hundred different vehicles within the roster. With that said, if you're after a bit more competitive gameplay, you can always head into online PvP matches, or join a friend in a cooperative mode. Next, number 4. Expeditions, Rome. A third Expeditions installment is out. If you don't recall, there were Expeditions Viking and Expeditions Conquistador, released into the marketplace previously. Meanwhile, this new installment is Expeditions Rome, where players are taking the role of legatus. When an unknown political enemy murdered your father, you're forced into leaving Rome, only to return after working your way up the ranks through a decorative military career. Players are getting a turn-based strategy game where you'll have to win battles, gain close companions, and attempt to reclaim the command of Rome. Although, each choice presented throughout the campaign will play a role in the fate of your campaign. It could mean losing companions, your legion, and even the downfall of Rome. Next, number 3. Steelrising. Steelrising is an upcoming game from Spiders. These are the folks that recently brought out Greedfall. We're getting a fictional period story set during the 1700s French Revolution in this game. Here, the tyrant King Louis XVI has sent out a mechanical army to suppress the revolution through merciless bloodshed. Players will be taking the role of Aegis, a mechanical wonder that a skilled engineer crafted up. Aegis will have to take on the king's forces to end the mindless battles. Players can use the city of Paris to their advantage, as they wander the streets, vault on the rooftops, and fight off the relentless flood of enemies, as you ensure the revolution succeeds. It's an interesting concept, and we're eager to hear more about the game. So far, the game is slated to release sometime this June. Next, number 2. Isenzo. An FPS game worth keeping tabs on this year is Isenzo. This is from developers who also brought out well-received military FPS games, including Verdun and Tannenberg. Both games were based within the First World War, and now we can add Isenzo to that collection. This particular installment is based on players using their tactical skills within the Alpine. Here you'll go through the Italian front as you struggle in taking the Isenzo River Valley and Alps territory. The development team has strived to deliver an authentic period FPS experience in their past games, and we're expecting the same for this upcoming release. You'll have war-torn towns to battle within, along with authentic weaponry and uniforms. Again, their past releases have been well received, and we're expecting the same for this upcoming release, although we don't have a release date yet attached. Instead, it looks like we'll be getting Isenzo sometime within this year. Finally, number 1. Pharaoh, A New Era. You might not recall, but in 1999, development studio Impressions Games with publishers Sierra Studios put out Pharaoh. This is an isometric city-building game where players attempted to build an ancient Egyptian civilization. Now years later, we're getting a remake of that game called Pharaoh, A New Era. The game was built from the ground up with new code, but the overall gameplay is still the same. Players still have to work with scarce resources at the start, as they try to build up their administration and empire. This means ensuring your people are well fed and protected throughout the different obstacles that might pop up. Meanwhile, you'll construct how your city is shaped From the various shelters to giant monuments overtowering the land. Thanks for watching Top 5. What do you think of these games? Comment your thoughts below. If you found this video knowledgeable, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you very much.
To change up.